Welcome back to another episode of the Family Album, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Last week, you heard our very special episode with Andrew Cavalier as we discussed Eminem. Honestly, a pretty fun episode.
It was. I really enjoyed kind of like diving into Marshall Mathers and like, you know.
The dichotomy of his new stuff and his old stuff. It was interesting.
Yeah. It
also
really
cool,
was.
We had both Cavaliers back to back for our guest episodes.
It's, we don't know a lot a I guess.
That is true.
we need to update our social circle.
Broaden our horizons.
It's like everybody and their brother is got, but like literally.
Yeah. And guys, we really put the family in Family Album.
That's it. We're done. We don't have to do any more episodes. You did it, AJ.
All right, and I'm your host, AJ.
This has been fun, and
just when we got monetized.
Good Lord.
All right. Hey, Matt, you know what I love?
Steely Dan?
Well, yes, but I also love how easy it is for two goobers like us to make a podcast.
I mean, with Spotify for Podcasters, it's no wonder. Spotify for Podcasters is a one-stop shop that's got everything you need to create the perfect podcast.
That's right. Using Spotify for Podcasters, you can directly record and edit your podcast wherever you are, using their intuitive and easy-to-use website.
And once you're done editing, Spotify for Podcasters takes care of the hard part and distributes your podcast directly to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are available.
And now you can even make video podcasts available on Spotify, which gives you even more freedom to make the podcast you want, while also giving your lovely listeners a chance to see your face.
Speaking of listeners, Spotify for Podcasters also encourages fan engagement by letting you get feedback directly from your listeners with Q&As and polls made by you.
You can even make money with your podcast through ads, podcast subscriptions, and donations directly from your audience.
Spotify for Podcasters offers all of this, and it's completely free to use with no catch whatsoever.
Guys, Spotify for Podcasters made recording and distributing the Family Album so easy. Being able to schedule our episodes ahead of time and letting them take care of distribution took so much weight off our shoulders.
For anyone that's ever even thought about starting a podcast, we highly recommend giving Spotify for Podcasters a try.
You can download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
Once again, download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters.
So this week got a bit of an interesting episode.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, we got some bangers, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, we got some good old-fashioned JPEGMAFIA.
Yes, sir. A brand new album at the time of recording, only about a month old.
Yeah.
Already my favorite album of the year.
It's pretty amazing, not gonna lie.
And then we have a little 2010s classic with MA3.
Hurry Up, We're Dreaming.
Yeah, man. Gotta say, I'm really impressed by both of these albums, and I'm excited to talk about them. So, Matt, which one do you want to talk about first?
I say let's start with some JPEGMAFIA.
Hell yeah, man. All right. Taking a little deep dive, Scaring the Hose was released March 24th, 2023 by JPEGMAFIA and Danny Brown on AWOL Records. It is produced entirely by JPEG on the Roland SP404 sampler.
This was all sampled on a Roland?
Yep.
Yo, that's
and
fucking
he said
tight.
it's the last time he's going to do that.
I see. I see. Okay.
So there's really not like a lot out about the recording process of this album because it's so new. It came out at the time of recording a month ago.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think it's already going to be a classic. It's my top album of the year so far that I've heard.
It's in the top 10 for me for sure. It's quite good.
Like I'm fucking blown away by this album. So what do you say we just dive right in, right, Matt?
Let's shall, AJ.
All right, starting off, we have Lean Beef Patty, and this sets the tone for the album so well.
I think it's a great opener.
Yeah.
I love the mix of like the sped up vocals and audio clips.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the samples I think are like they are definitely like one of the best parts, but not the best part.
Yeah.
Like I kind of get to that later on in my notes. But yeah, no, I really think this is such like a bold and brash, if you would.
Does not belong in the trash.
No, absolutely not. This album will be immortal. I wish I had the vocals for that guy. No,
we can edit.
Perfect censorship.
I really love the beat on this opener.
Yeah, it's so chaotic and awkward, but it fucks so hard.
It somehow works.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. And I think like what's nice enough about like this track and a lot of the other tracks in this album is that like they're all like the perfect length before it starts getting annoying.
Yeah.
And I think I really appreciate JPEG and Danny Brown for like kind of taking that into consideration probably.
Yeah.
I mean,
because Danny Brown has a very I guess inaccessible kind of voice. Like it's a voice you got to get used to before you
Yes.
really appreciate. But once you appreciate it, oh my god, this dude has fucking bars and his voice is so fun. I love it.
He does have fucking bars. I love how just this entire track is about, it's literally just sort of setting the tone for the album, being like, I'm going to say what I fucking have to say.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
like JPEGMAFIA's like his intro verse where it's just like the straight triplet kind of flow. He's so hype as fuck when he roasts Elon Musk on Twitter.
I know.
It's so good.
I didn't know what to expect at all when I like jumped into this album, but like it really just like stretched the hip hop genre, I feel like,
Yeah.
so much. And I really appreciate like all the genre bending that it did. You know, sometimes people can't do that. We're not
As
gonna,
we've discovered.
we're not going to name names. You already know. If you've been listening for a while, you
That's
already
true.
know.
Once again, thank you for listening.
But yeah, other things I want to say. I love the message of the song. I love when like this is something that happens frequently. They trade off a lot. JPEG and Danny trade off a lot. But when Danny gets like kind of not introduced, but when he starts, he just fucking goes off.
Exactly.
And I love it.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I didn't know his name like originally, but I recognized him from a Gorillaz song that was on Humans called Submission, and I love that song.
He's got a very recognizable voice.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much. It has a twang to it.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It has a certain charm and twang.
It's a little bit of a timbre, yeah.
Yes, if you would. The song ends pretty quickly. A lot of them do, but at the same time, I think they're all pretty perfectly paced.
Yeah, this album has fucking incredible pacing. Even though it's only 30 minutes, every song feels like it like earns its runtime. It's great.
Lean Beef Patty is a great opener.
It is.
All in all. Let's jump right into track number 2. I love the names of these fucking
so
tracks.
fucking good.
At first, when AJ gave me this album, I was writing down initially like all because I like to not to dive into my process or anything like that. No,
Getting a little behind the scenes look at the family album.
I mean, it's honestly not important. I like to write the names first so that I could just like kind of like pop it off and like ba 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 as I'm like, you know, going through each track.
A classic ba ba ba, yeah.
You know, ba 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 ba.
No. Fuck that album.
Steppa Pig, I think, is a great follow-up.
It is. It's so fun. I love the fucking. Is it the key progression? The button. No.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The fucking synth in the song is just insane.
And it pans through your ears too. It's so fucking nice.
I love the and I wanted to say, like, I love the names.
Yeah, the names are incredible. As we will get into. You can already tell from here. I mean, Lean Beef Patty is named after a Twitch streamer.
I see.
Which is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
There's a funny thing on this song specifically on the Spotify lyrics. One of the lyrics is uncut with the top side, but on Spotify it says uncut with the cum sock.
I think I remember seeing it somewhere. That's wild.
Yeah, I thought that was the actual lyric until I looked up on Genius, and then like someone had like one of the bubble button captions. I was like, yeah, nice going, Spotify.
Uncut with the cum sock. That's wild.
That's the name of my band, actually.
Man, give them a listen. Here at the Family Album, anyway, I really love the old sounding 808 or 8-bit synths.
Yeah.
I really love that. It just adds like this weird atmosphere.
It does.
Sort of like contrasting like sounds almost, I feel like. But then like the E-piano in the intro and like given like the side channels.
Yeah.
I love it, makes it sound more glamorous.
It does. Like everything feels so powerful on this album. It also has this vintage yet modern feel.
Yeah.
It's so crazy they're able to strike that balance so well.
That's what I mean with like the production. Like it sounds like I know a couple other artists that kind of do this. Like Bleachers also kind of likes to implement that in some of their older music. They kind of add these like little like retro sounding like little things in the middle of it. But then also on top of like this really like clean sounding production.
Yeah.
So this album does that in a few moments, especially later, which I fucking love, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Exactly.
But Steppa Pig, I really love the fucking like bass that vibrates in your ears.
It hits so hard, man. And just like it complements the sample so well.
It really does.
Like it just makes everything just hit so much harder and feels so much like heavier. It's awesome.
And this track in particular, it's fun because you start to sort of see more of the trade-off between Danny and JPEG.
Yeah.
And you start to get used to it, I feel like.
100%. Like you get a feel for their flow, and they actually they segue into each other very well.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. It's almost like conversational.
It is.
In a couple tracks. The modular synth part that comes in, I was like, Yo, you were hitting all the right fucking check marks right here.
Exactly, dude. Matt is no longer just depressed and chill.
Sad and
His
chill.
balls have dropped, baby.
Thanks, JPEG. No, I also love the samples of the soulful vocals in the left and right channels. I really think it also makes it sound like, I don't even fucking know what it sounds like. It just sounds good. Like, that's the thing. Like, I love all the choices. Like,
there's also just some like great like lines in here. What I think my favorite is incels just can't let it go like Frozen, trying to dance like Goten. That got me as a Dragon Ball guy.
Of course, Goten.
And one of the worst fucking characters in that show. And there's this, I think it's a sample. It's after I think Peggy's last line. It goes yee yee Molly water. That part just makes you so fucking hype.
That's pretty cool. AJ is neither of us are really lyrics guys, but AJ actually pays attention, so that's what's fun. But,
exactly. I try to at least, or I look them up later.
No, I love it though. I really love just how complete this track feels.
I know.
Just overall.
Such a good fucking follow-up, man.
I also love how like the beat crashes into each verse.
Yeah.
That's another like small little thing that I think is like, it really makes the song work. It's heavy, but then like it'll just cut.
Yeah, there's like moments of levity to like catch your breath before you like just go back in. Like it's controlled chaos, like perfectly balanced. It's fucking insane.
Overall, it's solid.
I agree.
It's very solid.
And now we move on to the title track. This one is goofy as fuck.
I love this one.
It's so good.
Dude, the clapping intro.
I know, and it stays throughout the entire song. It's so funny.
Is that a saxophone?
I think it's a saxophone, yeah.
It fucking rips.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the song is really goofy.
Yeah.
But then, like...
It's basically kind of like saying, like, yeah, this album is very inaccessible, but who gives a fuck? It's our album, which rules.
I like the fact that I think they at least, like, utilize a real drum kit for the beat, which is something I love in rap music when they, like, do that.
Yeah, with actual instruments.
Yeah.
I thought it's my favorite thing, dude.
It's fun. Like, don't get me wrong. I know Lose Yourself by Eminem has become, like, a meme, but I just fucking love when I, like, see the live performances of it, and you see the guy just come out with the guitar, even though he's only playing, like, the same riff.
One string.
He's playing the same riff for, like, the entirety of the... But, you know, I do like the utilization of, like, the real drum kit.
Yeah, it really, like, when everything comes in with that bass and the saxophone, it just feels so complete, so whole. It just goes so hard. I love it.
This album kind of dips into rock, like, a little bit.
It does,
like,
at
in
times.
certain tracks, like, little moments.
Yeah.
Moments. It
like, on
really,
the next track specifically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's... I love it. This whole fucking album is amazing.
It's so good.
But yeah, the clapping always being at the center was like a good touch.
Yeah.
I think it was fun. And
It really grounds the beat, which is cool.
It kind of makes it feel more like, it's weird. It makes it feel more communal.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like multiple people are like, yeah,
hopping in. Guys, we can all unite in scaring the hose, right?
All in all, scaring the hose.
Doesn't scare me one bit.
Not at all.
Oh, but this fucking next one, baby. Oh, we got Garbage Pail Kids.
This track is wild and I love it.
No.
It's the first of all, from the get-go, the sample of like is like the children like singing and
it's
shit.
From an old Japanese commercial for like a food processing company, but it sounds so fucking cool with the banging like bowls and like cutlery shit. It works so well.
It's so weird how like good at canned nostalgia this album is also. Like it's weird. Like I feel like honestly he has this weird way of like this album was completely new to me, obviously, because that's the whole point every week. But like the thing is though, this album was completely new to me, but like this song felt very like old school,
like timeless. Would you say
timeless? Yes, yes. Like I really love like all the choices made on this, and I haven't even gotten into them yet. So let's keep going.
Yeah. What do you got, Matt? What do you like?
The sample of it was the Japanese food commercial. Is that what you said? That was pretty dope. The video game sounds too.
Yeah,
sound like
that's another commercial. I think it's a Famicom commercial for like a tennis game.
That's
I think.
Pretty dope. That's
if not, I'll put it in the description.
I love the way that JPEG utilizes like a lot of samples.
Yeah,
like they do it here, and it's very tasteful, and like even though it is very like in your face, it also isn't like obnoxious.
No,
at the same time.
Like, it's aggressive, but like it goes hard, so it can be aggressive, and it blends everything together so well with his vocals and the other instrumentals that are happening. It's impressive.
I feel like it's a matter of how you present the album entirely. Like if you're going to try to present this as like if you're trying to present an album as like a serious album, like said past reviewees.
Check out episode 3 to get the reference.
Like past reviewees. I feel like when you try to present this as like a serious album or whatever, and then like you include like a random ass sound effect, it makes it sound like weird as shit.
Exactly, like fucking Death of a Bachelor with Rock Lobster. Like, awful example.
Yeah. I feel like, however, with this though, like this is bold, this is brazen. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I don't give a fuck what you think about it.
Exactly.
Like it works here. So I think the way that they utilize the samples in this entire album is something to be commended.
I know,
because they kind of introduce it as like this whole like I'm going on a rant. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know?
And
like,
they just talk about random shit, and it's awesome. It's funny as fuck.
The guitar solo.
Yes, I was gonna mention.
Oh my god, it's dope as shit.
Dude, it's so brown. I love it.
It's immediately once I heard it, I was like, oh, okay, me and this album are gonna be friends. Like I like this. I love how how it's paired with this like really slanted and like clumsy even sounding beat.
Yeah.
Like it's like an, what would you call that? As a drummer.
It's like kind of halftime a little bit, like when the solo comes in, right? Yeah, it's a little bit like halftime. It's basically playing on like the downbeat, but like really slowed down a little bit, so it sounds kind of off tempo, but it still fits.
But it works.
It's really cool.
And I love it. It's like a weird like millisecond behind almost.
Yeah.
Like it feels that way, but like it's perfect though. And it paces itself very, very well.
Yeah, before dipping right back into the commercial sample. Oh, God, the way they use that sample just blows my mind. It sounds incredible. And if you hear the original sample and how they utilize it in the song, it's so fucking impressive how they were able to make it music.
I'm gonna have to go back and like look. I love looking up the sample like sources to a lot of songs. That's why Daft Punk is so fun. But a few other things that I want to mention. I love the weird, almost metallic or glass sounding object that's being hit in the background.
That's from the commercial. I think it's like they're either hitting like a bowl or like a plate or something with like a fork. That's where that comes from.
When it goes into the chorus too, it feels so complete.
Yeah, man.
That's the thing. Like, even though there's a lot of like these scattered like production choices, the songs themselves just feel so complete and so like not
like disjointed.
And then not disjointed or unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Like it's the perfect length before it gets annoying, and then it also like they just go fucking ham with the production.
Exactly, without going too far.
Yeah, so I think it kind of works. Overall, again, Garbage Pail Kids.
Great song.
One of my favorite tracks on this album.
I originally thought that the sample they used was from the Garbage Pail Kids movie, and I'm so glad that wasn't the case. Have you heard of that?
Yeah. I don't know much about it, but I've seen photos and shots from the. It's pretty rough. It's a little scary.
But something that's not scary is this next track, Fentanyl Tester.
However, fentanyl is very scary.
Fentanyl itself, yeah.
Be careful, people. But anyway, here at the Family Album, we should just start like endorsing random shit.
Guys, go on Wizards 101, you know?
Did you fucking... No, it's got to be the weird Cartoon Network one. It was like Cartoon Network.
Oh my God.
Fusion Fall?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Here at the Family Album, we are actually bringing back Fusion Fall.
We are. I'm the only one allowed to be Mordecai. No one else could be Mordecai.
That's fair. I think that's a pretty fair trade. I get all the Ben 10 skins.
Fair.
Yeah, nobody gets them.
Yo, I'm Scoutmaster Lumpus.
You can play. You guys can still play, but here's the deal. You can play as one of the other ones, like Generator Rex. Who the fuck even is that? Okay,
it's the Secret Saturdays.
Oh my God, yo, I forgot
the core memory.
Cryptids. I love it. That's what that show was about.
Yeah, man.
Right? It was cryptid. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
And a team of cryptids.
It was kind of dope. But anyway, Fentanyl Tester is another dope thing. It's a dope track. I love the vocals in the beginning. They really kind of like from the get-go set the tone, and like it has a very interesting like video game music quality.
It does.
Again.
That 8-bit kind of the synth in the background is really cool. Really gives this energy with the really fast drums on top of that too. It's awesome.
Also, like the sequencer when it like hits and like when the beat kind of starts like suppressing itself too. That's like so many like interesting, like how did you even I like to wonder a lot of times when I hear like a really unique sounding track, like how does like someone visualize this?
I know, it's impressive. Like just how people are able to come up with this concept. Like maybe they found the sample, then worked around that, or like they made the beat and found the sample. It's tough to know.
It really, really is, but it's executed so well
Exactly,
in track
man.
number 5.
One of my favorite lines from this song is hitting whippets and eating halal. Gets it cooking when whipping these sounds. I don't know. I thought that was really funny.
I like it.
I also like the line. I think it's in Steppa Pig or Lean Beef Patty. It's the one where Danny Brown goes eating ass like Canibus then laughs.
Oh, that's in one of the first ones.
Is that Steppa Pig?
I think it's Steppa Pig.
Yeah, that's such a good line.
Yeah, because I literally I tried to re-listen to the whole thing today, but scheduling.
Yeah.
I am a student, so like obviously I was just kind of like
Floating back and forth.
Of course, but yeah, that is in like the second track, I believe.
It's such a good fucking line.
It's pretty good,
especially when he makes himself laugh. That's so Brown. I love it.
I love the what is it? It's the sample of the
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
It's so funny, but like it's funny how like it tosses it up between that and then like the beat is also changing like throughout the song.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many choices, but like none of them feel off.
Yeah, like it's everything in the kitchen sink, and I fucking love it. I want more.
Me too. I'm gonna look up more stuff by JPEGMAFIA.
I think I need to listen to more of his stuff too. Like this is the only album I listen to by him.
He's pretty fucking good. He obviously knows what he's doing, so I'm more than willing to check out his discography.
Yeah, man.
But Fentanyl Tester, track number 5, fantastic.
Oh, but this next one, Matt,
is Burfict.
It really, truly is perfect. I fucking adore this track.
Listen, AJ, you know my stance on orchestral elements in music.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do.
It's amazing.
It is.
It's so triumphant.
You got those fucking horns in there. It feels like a fucking Western.
It really
It's so fucking good, man.
It's so fitting and badass at the same time because like since it already established this whole like I'm gonna fucking do what I want with this album because fuck you. Like you know what I mean?
Man.
Like I feel like they really run with it.
Yeah.
But it never becomes like, oh, it's faltering or oh, it's too much. Like, no, it's perfect.
They always stay on track. It's perfect even.
Like the fucking big band sample that's like throughout this song is just absolute chef's kiss.
It's a procession of the Levites by Richard Smallwood. It's like
I've heard of Richard Smallwood.
Yeah. It fucking goes so hard, especially complemented by the bass, the trap beat that they have with the bass boost. Oh my god! If you want to feel like a badass, listen to this song. It's insane.
It's fantastic. The strings just throughout the entire track are so fucking good too. But like the beat is simple enough where I feel like it lets all of like the sampled sounds breathe.
Exactly.
And that's what I think I love about this track the most is that like I feel like if he made like a super complex beat over it, it would have been like kind of, maybe detracted from the sample a little bit. But like even though there's so much shit going on, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of shit going on.
Exactly, yeah.
It feels perfectly balanced in like all the right places. Again, I think this is honestly one of the best examples to use in terms of how to balance a lot of samples.
Yeah, that's true. I really fucking love like the halftime instrumental break right before Peggy comes in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking hype. It's so good.
I love it. Honestly, Burfict is perfect.
It really is. I also love there's a little bit of a bookend. Danny's verse at the beginning is repeated right as the song ends. It's really nice.
Nuance.
Very cool.
They are men of nuance. I appreciate it.
Matt, shut your bitch ass up. It's time for Muddy Waters.
Okay. No, track number 7. Shut your bitch ass up.
/ Muddy Waters.
Oh man. This is a nice little like change of pace.
It is. It's probably the most straightforward song on this album.
For sure. It's like it kind of takes a second to like kind of calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think like even later on there's more of a calm down, I feel like.
Yeah.
But for track number 7, the little like I don't know what kind of synth lead it is. I got to refresh my memory with all of it. But there's like a little bit of a synth lead that's like happening on one of the channels. And it's so good. I love that. It feels solid with the amount of like dampening in like each channel too.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
I also love the bass line on this song. It's so fucking groovy.
Yes, it
It
is.
fits so good.
It has beeps and shit.
It does. It has the walkie-talkie sample in there. This is also the song where it has the iPhone message, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's so good.
I want to listen to this. Like this is the one where I feel kind of like sad that I didn't get like a second or like a re-listen to before this, because like I feel like a lot of my notes are pretty much like this is nice.
I know, like it. A bit of an Alex G situation where the album's just so fucking solid. There's not really like a lot to say.
I feel like with the Alex G situation, he was like legitimately talking about like things to write it like lyrically.
Yeah.
But this is also fun because it's also like kind of a shitpost.
It's chaotic,
too.
yeah.
So it's like it's a fun time. I enjoy. Track number 7, fantastic. The piano has a nice touch too.
It does.
It really kind of adds.
I just like how both rappers kind of get their own musical style in this song. Like Danny's is more aggressive and Peggy's is more chill. It's very cool.
Yeah. Does he go by Peggy sometimes?
That's what people call him. They call him Peggy.
That's
just instead of saying JPEG.
That's kind of dope. Actually, that's cool. The sample of the person saying "shut the fuck up" also is utilized pretty well.
Awesome.
I like it. It's not a premature fuck. As we've established.
Exactly.
I want like a stamp, like
premature fuck.
Like if I don't know, just like you're hired. I don't know. And it says premature fuck on the resume.
We just have like a different like our own, I guess, vernacular of what this show means. Kind of like Ween. Yeah.
It's how Kyle was hired, actually.
Exactly. He knew what it was before even we did.
Exactly.
We love you, Kyle.
I love you too.
Overall, though, track number 7, it's solid, and I love the change of pace compared to like the previous one.
It starts a very nice trend of kind of mellowing out, which is really cool, as we see on Orange Juice Jones.
I love this track so much.
It's so fucking good.
The 80s retro synthwave is such a fucking vibe, and the beat is so clean and airy.
Yeah.
And I was kind of at a loss for words, because like it starts to take like a huge tone shift a little bit, at least musically. I feel like thematically it's all kind of like,
similar,
consistent.
like artistic integrity is what this album's all about.
For sure. And I love the choices made in Orange Juice Jones. I love the vocals that are in the channels sounding so like ethereal.
This is sampled from Dear Michael by Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Which was very, very nice, very smooth. At first, I wasn't huge on this song because I felt like I thought it was really goofy how shittily mixed the sample and the vocals were, because everything just overlaps over each other. But the more you listen to it, the more it blends, and then you just accept it, and it fucking rules.
Yeah. I feel like, honestly, that's kind of how to take this album entirely.
Exactly. You got to roll with it.
For real.
This is the song with the text message notification, not Muddy Waters.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
For those who haven't listened to this album, that's just some point during the middle of the song, the audio just cuts out and you hear like the iPhone text notification, and then it just jumps right back in.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that actually sounds a lot more familiar. Hey,
it's fun.
Hey, listen.
I like it.
Even though there are a lot of like weird aesthetic and like a lot of weird aesthetic and vibes happening, I feel like the song does a good job of grounding itself.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Like it's very fucking smooth, man.
It is.
Like it's very chill. I love I think it's after a couple of Danny's verses. He just goes,
It kind of gave me some Drunk by Thundercat vibes.
A little bit. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Just like a really tiny bit. Some, not many.
Yes.
Some.
Buzz, not drunk.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Great
honestly.
fucking track.
I'm a fan. I have a few more things to say.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I love how it cuts out in all the right moments on this track too. I mean, throughout the whole album, there are just random like cuts where it kind of just like takes a second, but like I don't know, it works. The fucking sound effects surprisingly work too.
I know.
And last but not least, the tag team sort of structure of like lyric delivery, I feel like shines on this one a lot.
It's perfect balance back and forth. Great song.
Great song. Great song indeed.
Moving on to another fucking banger. We got Kingdom Hearts Key.
I loved this vibe from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like immediately when it started, I was like, oh, okay.
It's so ethereal, so calming.
It is. And like
the best part is it has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts.
I was a little disappointed on that front as a Kingdom Hearts fan. But the bells and shit that happened throughout, like that combined with the synths just made it feel like so
like otherworldly, man.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's wild. Like it's even more airy than the last one.
Yeah.
Like
that has kind of like a 70s like funk soul ballad. This is like a Japanese, not like, I wouldn't say city pop, almost vaporwave a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, vapor. I could see this kind of almost being related to vaporwave.
Yeah.
The rhythm overall is it's fucking poggers.
One might say.
As we say in the business.
J-Poggers Mafia.
J-Pog. Yo, it's Poggy. But I love how like all that shit is just the intro, and then it changes the beat and it works.
Yeah, man.
Like that's probably where I was like, okay, this is pretty dope.
During the slow down instrumental break, that shit fucking rules. Also love the line, Hunter Biden, stay out of my sink. Yeah, there's so many good lines if you pay attention. It's so good.
For sure.
So funny.
I gotta really re-listen, but this overall first listen impacted me quite a lot. I don't think it's my favorite track on the album.
That's fair.
But I do like it a lot.
It's a highlight for me. I also like Red Veils. His guest verse is really nice too at the end. Really encapsulates the whole song. Ends it very nicely.
The vocals just make it sound so good
through and
through. So yeah, I agree with that. It's a solid track.
It really is, and it transitions quite beautifully into the next one. God Loves You picks it right back up where it left off.
This song is fucking awesome.
It is. I love the sample so much.
It's like this aggressive house music.
Yeah, it's like a gospel house.
Yeah, like
one might say
gospel house.
It's sampled of "You Don't Know" by Timothy Wright.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but
I don't know how I missed that. It does fuck pretty hard. The beat in this one is like,
yes, oh my god.
It complements like the bassiness of this entire track very, very well. And then the soulful vocals just like fuck so hard.
Exactly. It's so fucking nice.
It feels like electricity. Like that's that's the only way I can describe. Like it's this song is fucking electric.
Boogie woogie woogie.
As we say on the Family album.
Yes. My iconic catchphrase.
In the link in the description, we actually have merch with AJ's face.
It says boogie woogie woogie.
Yeah, with boogers hanging out of his nose.
Yeah. Oh god.
In the shape of those words.
Yeah. Coming soon on Redbubble.
Oh man, that'd be fucking wild. But yeah, the choral ensemble in this track, it just makes it have such a dynamic range.
Yeah, man. And like once like the bass boost plus like the trap beat really complements that sample so well, feels so hype, like you just want to dance to it.
Yeah.
Also, the religious fucking jokes on this song are top fucking tier. They're so good.
I didn't hear all of them. Like I would catch some of them, but like they had some good ones from what I kind of remember.
We're Adam and Eve. I'm gonna eat that apple bottom. That's a great. I'm gonna make her squirt holy water. Ben about to spit that Red Sea. Oh, it's so fucking good. The juxtaposition of like this gospel choir with these just super raunchy lyrics making fun of religion. It's great.
We stand for sure.
Exactly. Thank you, Danny.
Lastly, I think one of the last things I'll say, the bass being at the center of it all just makes it push the limits and boundaries of the genre. I feel like.
Yeah, man.
And it works. So.
One more line. Want to eat pussy, I broke my fast.
This album is fucking great.
It's so fucking funny. I love this album so much.
This track is awesome.
It's great.
I love it. Track number 10, God Loves You. It's pretty dope.
And we love you too. JPEG and Danny.
Track number 11, Run the Jewels.
This one is one that people don't really like too much. I don't really see a problem with it. I feel like it's perfectly acceptable for what it is. It's got a really nice beat. I love the intro with those horns in there. A nice little lead up as Peggy spits out in the background. So good.
The nice like muted horn in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fucking clean, man.
It kind of gives it like this. It's fucking tight, first of all.
Yeah.
But then also like, again, genre bending at its finest, just a bit. It has this like shifty, ritzy, roaring 20s like sample aesthetic.
Yeah, fucking Brendan Urie wishes he could do this shit.
Bro, I will say, I was listening to the album after Death of a Bachelor. It wasn't like it's still not as bad as people say, in my opinion.
Really?
I feel like the album that came after that, Viva Las Vengeance, is still
Is that the most recent one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the last
I've heard
one.
It's pretty bad.
It's next episode. No, I'm kidding. No, absolutely not. But anyway,
Run the Jewels.
I love the Roaring 20s sample and aesthetic kind of feel.
Yeah, man.
Like it just this one, I feel like I wrote in my notes that I was upset that it was shorter, but like I kind of understand for the overall flow and length of the album.
I agree. Kind of going back to it, I get it, especially when it transitions to the next song, which has a similar kind of vibe to it. It's a nice little lead in.
I might have to go into Adobe Audition and try to like, you know, enable the remix and stretch it out.
Yeah, man.
For like 10 hours. So I could just like vibe to
get
this.
that super nice hip hop beat backed by those horns.
I would take, honestly, the intro alone was enough to just win me over.
Yeah, it's tight, man.
It's quite good.
There's a good line in there about getting shit on like being in Dubai.
I do remember that.
That's a fun one. Also, there's a Danny Brown. He says a line about like the style. I don't switch the style, and then once he comes in, the music changes like 180. It's so cool.
It's funny.
It sounds like Scooby-Doo music a little bit.
Yeah. There's not a lot to say about track 11. I feel like
It's just a good transition song.
it really is. It really is, and it doesn't. I wasn't weary at any point listening to this. So, and that's track 11.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of said before about another album. I forget which. But like, if you can hold my attention for like 11 tracks, that's pretty good. I think the length definitely helped for sure.
100%.
But yeah, let's keep moving.
This transitions right into Jack Harlow Combo Meal. What a great title.
The piano.
Yes.
My God. Like, holy shit. I love it so much.
It's just like ritzy, like lounge music to set it up before it speeds up with that hip hop sample. It's so fucking nice.
The beat just makes the piano so juxtaposed, and I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Like, it supplements the natural upright bass with like a Q bass.
Yeah, man.
Like, this track has so many layers, I feel like.
It's fucking great, man. I just love that they're shitting on Jack Harlow. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
The overall sound is really pleasant, and with that piano, as it is. Sorry, you just heard the papers flipping in the mic.
It's okay.
I'm an old man. I use actual paper. But yeah, the triplet flow leading to the ending is really fucking cool. I love that a lot. And the auto-tune vocals during like the slow down break is so funny.
It is. I did like this one, and I love the elegant way that they dissed Jack Harlow, because I mean, also the title again, it's just really fucking funny.
Yeah, calling him a sellout, which is funny.
But I liked it. But I will say, I'm very glad that this one wasn't too long. I feel like sometimes diss tracks have a little bit of a tendency to go on like a little, like in general.
Fair, yeah.
In general, I feel like a lot of diss tracks can have a tendency to go on a little bit too long. I like how this one was just kind of like, you know,
Jack Harlow.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Combo meal, yeah.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about HOE.
Heaven on Earth.
This song's cool.
It is. It's really, really clean, which is really cool. That the sample that kind of carries throughout, the nice organ that pops in every now and then. It's really, really sweet. Really nice come down.
AJ, as a rhythm guy, what is the meter of this?
It might be 6/8 or 3/4.
Because like I was trying to, I was guessing 3/4, but like it's weird because like sometimes it felt like a little bit of 4/4.
I think it might be 6/8 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like maybe because it has the emphasis on 4.
I was trying to count it, and I was like, I don't know. I guess 3/4, but I also spelled meter wrong in my notes.
Mitra.
Meterer. Metrer, actually.
Oh.
Metrer.
Add that to the list, I guess.
Metrer Prime. A great game.
Very good game.
I like the way that the rhythm is kind of tossed up in this song for sure.
Yeah.
The chorus, though, it joins like, it kind of felt like it was hopping between 2 meters a little bit.
Yeah.
But
that's fair. Maybe that's because like the sample and the beat are different.
That's the one part of music theory where I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yee. But no, I do like the chorus a lot. It feels so complex and like honestly ingenious.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers on this, which is really cool. I love like the actual part when Peggy like sings.
Yeah.
Which is really a very nice change of pace. It's awesome hearing like his pipes.
For sure. It's like, it has like a haunting vibe to it, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's a very like interesting haunting vibe, but like again, it works. And the pacing is good.
Especially when it gets to the ending when it's like just the sample carried out with like mixed with the music. It's really fucking cool.
It was fucking mint. The ending was fucking mint.
Dude.
It was really, really good.
Feels so triumphant.
And the organ just
Love a good organ.
We do.
Kidneys, livers, whatever you got.
Pancreas, hand it over, send it to us. It's all we want. Don't actually.
Here's the family album. We advocate the black market. Just kidding, we don't.
Yeah, please do not ever.
No.
I'm a queasy guy.
No.
Finally, we're at track number 14, the last track.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But all good things must come to an end.
AJ, where you get your Coke from?
Well, I actually have a plug somewhere around here.
I love the slapback intro into like the jazz fanfare kind of deal. It really makes us feel like a bold and brazen closer from the get-go.
I also love the fucking like the shitty Casio sample that's used throughout.
Yeah.
It's so goofy. I fucking love it.
It sounded like more of an ethnic beat version of Jellyfish Jam. And I can respect that, honestly. The chorus is really good.
It is.
It's really good. It's powerful.
So nice, man.
And I love like the usages of like the big band, the fuzz, the drive, the piano, and like the record scratches.
Yeah.
I love me a good like because record scratches, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like they were hip and happening like at some point. They were literally designed to be hip and happening and put in every single song. So it's weird to like hear record scratches again. I think the last time I ever heard record scratches be like put into like any sort of mainstream album was on Random Access Memories with Giorgio Moroder.
Oh, Moroder, that's a great song.
My name is Giovanni Giorgio, but everybody calls me Giorgio. Anyway, I could talk about that song alone for days.
One line that stood out to me that I quite enjoyed. I fuck your bitch, you fuck my bitch. That's an assist.
I'm just glad somebody said it.
I know.
Dude, I feel like out of all the tracks though, Danny Brown fucking slays it on this track.
It's so good.
His flow is just ridiculous on this track.
There's also just a really just fun shitpost moment where like towards the end he just gets buried in the mix before coming back up to the forefront. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
This one has a lot of really fun production choices, but it also is just a really strong way to end the album.
Yeah, man.
And I love like just the jazz step beat throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's fun.
This whole album is just fucking incredible, man.
I loved it.
All right, Matt, what are your final thoughts on Scaring the Hose?
In terms of musicality, this is probably one of the most ingenious studio productions I've heard in a while. I love the samples that are utilized throughout the entire album, and I love how they don't overdo it with the beat so that it allows the choruses and the samples and the synths to breathe. It's such a vibrant, bold, expressive, honestly just badass kind of like record. Lyrically, it had some pretty strong and powerful points and like some like funny ones too. The first track alone has so much to unpack with topics about the state of like this country even, and then like even just like a matter of like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck Elon Musk.
So overall, I'm giving it like an S tier.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
I like it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's a solid 9 out of 10 for me.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad you enjoyed.
Yeah.
As I said, this is my album of the year so far as of recording in April. But this is like the most chaotic controlled chaos that I've ever listened to.
Yes.
But it works so fucking well. The samples all complement the beats incredibly ingeniously. The dueling vocals with transition between Peggy and Danny so well. The lyrics are funny. Even though it's a shitpost, it's still very tasteful and still very well produced. So it earns the right to be a shitpost. And it has an overall good message, like you said, just artistic integrity, not selling out, and making the music you want to make, not what's popular. So I'm gonna give this a 9.5 out of 10. This is a A+, almost S tier.
I see.
I fucking adore this album though. Very good.
Rap is usually not a genre that I like lean toward all the time. So the fact that it got me this hooked, I was like, all right, respect. Thank you. Thank you, Peggy.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you.
Kingdom Hearts, I guess.
All right. Well, you know the format. We've been doing this for what? How many episodes, AJ?
This is episode 13.
Good fucking Lord.
I know.
Why do you encourage us, people? But
we love that you do encourage us.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was a joke. We love doing this.
Yes.
So please keep supporting.
Please listen.
Please.
We need those pennies, man.
Take it away, Penny.
That Penny has the most beautiful voice.
But I gave AJ Hurry Up We're Dreaming by M83.
Yes, sirree. This is an album I am genuinely surprised by. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, but that's mostly because I didn't know like who this artist was until I heard the second song, and then I knew. But overall, I really fucking enjoyed this album. So what do you say we start this deep dive, my friend?
Let's fucking do it.
All right, so Hurry Up We're Dreaming was released October 18th, 2011 on Naive Records and is the 6th studio album by M83. This group was formed by Anthony Gonzalez and Nicolas Fromageau in 1999 in Canibus, France, and this album was inspired by melancholy and the infinite sadness as well as the mixed reception that Gonzalez's soundtrack for the film Black Heaven got. So he took this darker approach to songwriting as well as implementing the concept of dreams when he created his first double album, Hurry Up. So I found this kind of interesting that M83 is kind of like Steely Dan, as in he's the only consistent member and he brings in guest musicians to play with all of his albums.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
It's funny, like, I don't even know much, like, about the artist.
Yeah.
There's one track in particular that's I guess more of like an interlude instrumental kind of deal that got me into like this album like a little bit like a couple years ago. So it's so funny because like I have vivid memories of like doing math homework to this album. So like I would just literally like just put on this album and just shuffle it.
Yeah.
And I'd just be working at whatever math I was doing for like hours.
It's a very pleasant album to just like have on in the background.
It's got a nice thing of like synth pop. It's got some
synth wave, some nice ambient music.
Yes,
specifically like this reminded me of Brian Eno so much on like the interlude tracks, which I fucking loved.
I can definitely see that a lot. There's one track on here beside. Well, there are 3 tracks that like are the ones that like stand out. I feel like for a lot of people. But the one track we'll get to, I love it.
Okay,
but let's get started.
All right. So starting off pretty simply, we have the intro. There's a lot of nostalgia towards childhood. We got those classic 80 keys, and I already fuck with this song. The backing vocals are also really fucking nice. Zola Jesus is the one. I did my research this time. But yeah, her voice complements Gonzalez's very well and just creates this nice kind of ambient ethereal feel and creates a nice vibe to open up this album.
Yeah, I mean, like, because this album has a lot of tracks that like I kind of put into playlists. So like the intro is never like one of them.
Yeah,
but I mean, from what I remember, it was pretty good. I think he does like the vocals overall on this album are pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's got an interesting voice. I wasn't super huge on it, but he definitely grew on me. Different from Chris Martin, who also has an interesting voice, but it did not grow on me at all.
But yeah, it's a nice little start to the album, I feel like.
Yeah, it really kind of encapsulates the feeling of being in a dream and starts off the chill 80s nostalgic vibe as we transition to the next song, Midnight City.
Now, a lot of people, when this came out, a lot of people really liked this song. I think a lot of people kind of changed their mind on it like a little bit.
So that's interesting because I don't think I ever listened to this song in full, like actively, until I listened to the album for the show. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I never liked the hook. I always heard, I was like, oh, it's fucking this song. But then I was like, holy shit, this instrumental is really fucking good, actually. And there's a sax solo in here, too?
Yeah.
That fucking rules?
It's kind of fun. There are a lot of interesting liberties with this. This whole album kind of reminds me of like a more amped up version of, oh God, what is it called? It's the MGMT album with like the yellow one.
Oh, Little Dark Age?
Yes. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that in like a weird way, except a lot more like in your face.
Yeah, I can see that. I also really like his vocal delivery when he sings the verses. It gives me like Depeche Mode vibes, which I really like a lot. It has that like classic goth rock kind of 80s delivery.
Waiting.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Yeah, I fucking love it.
It's kind of fun.
The choruses are really fun. It gives all the instruments a time to shine, specifically the keys and the drums. The drums on this album are fucking great. It gives me car seat headrest vibes, which I like a lot.
Yeah, I can see that a lot. Especially with some of like the minor shoegaze moments.
Yeah, man. Plus like all the emphasis on the tom drumming, all those triplets. It's fucking cool. Yeah, this really captures the 80s nostalgia. And like I'd say like minus the hook, which is like probably my least favorite part.
Yeah.
It's just a solid overall track. I like the synthwave vibe and yeah, it's really cool.
It has a nice mix. This whole album has a nice mix between like, you know, utilizing like real instruments and then also like the beeps and boops.
The blorps and the blobs. It's got it all.
All of it.
All right. All right, moving on. We have Reunion. This one was pretty cool. I like the guitar that kind of starts it off in the forefront. This whole album is just a love letter to the 80s, which is very cool. You can hear that in the instrumentation. I like the aux percussion in the song too. Some nice texture with the claves and the triangle. It's great. And the castanets too. That fucking ruled.
Castanets.
Yeah, man.
Man, you're laying on just like all these instruments.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there's that. Oh, and there's that. Oh, fucking castanets. Oh.
The castanets.
Oh, the fucking my father had a castanet. He had to put it up his ass.
Listen, guys. It sounds great, but it needs more castanets.
And that's what the guy said to the Beatles.
Could you imagine fucking "Don't Feel the Reaper" with like, or "Don't Fear
the Reaper"?
Not "Feel the Reaper."
You can feed the Reaper though. Don't fret.
Imagine just like "Don't Fear the Reaper" with castanets. That would be wild. But yes. Reunion. The lyrics I remember to this one were always kind of like they didn't make it onto my playlist. I will say
fair.
But I did like some of like the usages of like the lyrics.
Okay,
I feel like in this one, talk about like
I'll be honest, like for this whole album, I just did not pick up on any lyrics. I was just blown away by the music, which is what I was really like paying attention to.
He talks about like things coming into bloom a lot.
Okay.
This, so it's fun.
That's cool.
It's a fun little like, yeah, will you stay in this land forever? He asks that twice. Actually, 4 times.
Holy shit.
4 times.
Oh my God.
Well, will you?
No.
Fine. Anyway.
I think the bass line on this is really groovy too. Honestly, the music in this whole album is fucking fantastic. You're going to hear me bring that up a lot. But yeah, anything else on Reunion?
I mean, not really. The OOOs kind of get a little bit annoying, but other than that,
That is fair.
It's like, you know.
It's 2011.
Exactly.
That's what was hot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
OOO. Said through gritted teeth. But where'd the boats go, AJ?
You got to stop asking me, man. I don't know.
It's our job to know.
Did I ever tell you? I think I told you about Ween's Pizza Hut ad.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Where they wrote the song "Where'd the Cheese Go?"
Yeah.
That just clicked in my head. Sorry for another episode, but anyway, this song was really a very cool transition. A lot of these interlude songs have like a very similar kind of sound to them, but there's enough different that separates them, which I really respect because that's hard to do, especially when they all sound so ambient and like I guess like not grounded. But this one was really cool. It gave me Lamb Lies Down on Broadway vibes that I really fucked with.
Only some of the transition songs and interludes kind of have some like little bits of lyrics too.
Yeah.
Like one of them, which is my favorite one of this entire album. But like, yeah. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I had this on a playlist and then I took it off just because like, you know,
interlude.
As Bob Dylan says, the times are changing. You know what I mean?
Times they are changing.
How many times? It's a fun one though. I don't know.
Yeah, it does its job. It transitions the nice song very well. The transitions on this album are really fucking good. Everything like segues into each other so well. And it segues beautifully into this next track, Wait.
I love this one a lot because is this the one with the really like the guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, I have vivid memories of me walking, just walking around, just listening to this. Like honestly,
it's a beautiful song. It gives me like Pink Floyd vibes, which I fucking adore.
I can hear that a lot.
It's so good, man.
It kind of reminds me of Beck. If you ever listen to any of his music.
I've only listened to his feature on the Gorillaz Song Machine, Valley of the Pagans.
Okay, yeah.
What a great song, but I haven't listened to any Beck.
This one is just like, it doesn't have a lot of like lyrics in it, but it just has this nice like, it's just this nice vibe that you can just space out to.
Yeah, man.
For like a while.
Yeah, it's very
just think
like
about life.
Triumphant and like ethereal. It's a very good coming of age song, I feel like. Because I think this was used in The Fault in Our Stars. I did some research.
I think you're right, yeah. I know there are a couple of songs in this album that have been used in like so many things.
There's one that we'll get to which fucking blew me away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know much about like the outreach of this album. So,
but people were very informative on where these songs were used, and I'm very surprised that this movie's fan base is still alive, which we will get to when we get there.
I see.
I love the strings on the song a lot.
Yes.
How they started very subtle before kind of giving their own like moment to shine before going back into the background. It's very nice, very tasteful.
Absolutely.
His vocals are really great here. I like the softer delivery he has as well. Much like Chris Martin, I like it when he has more of a softer kind of vibe, but he is better than Chris Martin.
Yeah, no, it's so funny how like wild his voice has like such like a fucking like peaks and valleys kind of thing. Because later on he fucking like shreds his voice on this one track.
Oh shit, okay.
If you, we'll get to it in a second.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Also, the ending of the song fucking rules. The drums just go so hard with those accented hits and the fills. It's so fucking nice filling out that space. But an overall really fucking good song. Any other thoughts?
It just kind of overall adds to the pleasant vibe.
Yeah.
Very spacey.
The dreamlike feeling.
Yes. Just hurry up, AJ. We're dreaming.
Exactly.
Here on the
All right, guys.
album.
That'll do it for this week.
And it was all a dream. But anyway, the next track. How do you pronounce this?
Well, the English translation is "Tell Me a Story." Raconte-Moi Une Histoire. That's my best impression.
That was beautiful.
Omelette du fromage.
Something with cheese?
Ever see Dexter's Laboratory?
No, I haven't.
Okay. There's an episode where Dexter, he learns the saying omelette du fromage in French, and he just gets like bitches because of it.
Wild.
And it becomes the only thing that you can say for the rest of the episode. It's funny.
I see. Anyway,
this song is really cute. I like it a lot. This is the The one where the little girl tells a story about a frog.
Yeah. Reflecting on these lyrics I'm looking at right now.
There was a wild one in there where it's like, now imagine your mother is your father.
Yeah. I do not remember this song at all.
It's fun. It's very goofy. It's like a very like bouncy kind of like childhood nostalgia thing. They talk about frogs a lot, which I fuck with as a big frog head.
As a frogger, if you will. You know?
A frogger, yes. Mm-hmm. We've been known to be called froggers. I like the use of the channels here, as you have like kind of the keys on the left and the guitar on the right, and they complement each other very nicely. It's just a fun little ditty. I like it.
Jack and Diane?
Please don't bring up Mr. Cougar Mellencamp.
Gonna let it rock. Let it roll. Get the bubble milk. Gonna save my soul. Please don't leave us. We won't do it again, but please.
No, we need you.
We can't have two references to that song throughout season 1. Oh boy, but anyway.
Train to Pluton is the next track.
That's another instrumental, right?
It is, another little interlude. This one's really cool.
Yeah.
I like the train sound effects really kind of capture the add some nice texture, the aesthetic of being in a train station.
Honestly, I like the way that they sort of implement the train sounds in this one.
Yeah,
because, it kind of makes it sound kind of dreamy.
Yeah.
Which is the point, because it's the whole album.
You're going on it. You're dreaming.
I figured it out. No, but I do like the way that it's sort of utilized, because like it kind of the studio imagery just kind of adds to the whole fact of like, in a dream anything can happen.
Yeah.
So
like you can go on a train. Imagine.
You can rebuild Tobor.
Oh my fucking god, that's a pull from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Holy shit. Ay caramba.
Oh boy. But yeah, it's a nice instrumental. There's not like a whole lot, I feel like.
No, just solid interlude as it leads into the next track, Claudia Lewis. This is it starts out kind of interesting. It's a little like weird. It's very catchy off the bat, I said, or off the beat. I can't read my handwriting because I write very fast. But a very unique vocal style. I like the sound of the tom drums all throughout. The bass line goes hard as fuck in this song. I remember specifically is really fucking good. And I like the style change that it has during the key solo, which is also really nice. It sounds like it came right out of the 80s, and I really enjoy it. Also, the slowdown is very, very nice.
Again, this is one of those ones where I think I could kind of appreciate from afar.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Because I usually listen to albums so I can put them into playlists and try to like, or it's like a weird way of sort of like organizing what I feel like sounds similar.
Okay.
Because I'm crazy. But yeah, I feel like with this one, I kind of just unfortunately glossed over it.
I feel like it's worth going back to. Like the instrumentals are really nice. I added this to my playlist. I really enjoy it. The bass line specifically just fucking rules. Like once you get past the intro, it's really fucking good.
He talks about like being far away from where he wants to be. Like a lot in this album, I feel like.
Yeah.
Very spacey kind of, you know.
Kind of broad themes and interpretations.
Very cosmic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. So I think the next one, the Bright Flash. This is the one that I was talking about that was used in a movie that was such a wild pull. Ever heard the movie Chronicle?
Is that the fucking movie where like 4 high school people become psychic?
Yeah, they get telekinetic powers.
And then like the one guy turns evil and he's like destroying.
Dane DeHaan.
Holy shit. This was used in Chronicle?
This was the end credits theme to Chronicle. Apparently.
Jesus Christ.
When I read that was just a core memory. I was just like, holy fuck.
I don't even like, here's the thing about Chronicle. I don't think I've ever actually seen Chronicle.
Okay.
I've seen the trailers for Chronicle and movie clips. When I don't want to watch a movie, I just watch the clips on YouTube. We all do it. It's okay. But no, I've seen bits and pieces of Chronicle through like YouTube movie clips and stuff like that. That's wild. I remember when the trailers for that movie came out.
I know, it was
like
spooky.
A student film style of shooting, right?
Yeah, it's found footage.
Yeah.
I fucked with it when I was like in middle school. I really enjoyed it, but I was also like 12 when I watched it, so I don't know how well it holds up. I hear it's actually pretty solid.
I've heard. I have not read a review at all of that movie. It's kind of faded out of existence for me.
Maybe we should watch it one night, Matt.
That it's so weird. Like I hold that movie and then oh god, what the fuck is it called?
Is Cloverfield?
No. It's another found footage one. It's about these guys who invent a time machine and they're like
Minutemen. You're
No, not the Disney Channel original
Starring
movie.
Jason Dolly, yes.
PJ Duncan himself.
PJ Duncan, yes.
Wow. Wow.
This is the episode of Pulls.
That is not that is not at all I think it's called Project Almanac.
Oh, fuck, you're right. Yeah, I never saw that one, but I think I know what you're talking about.
I've seen bits and pieces of that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And like they might be years apart. I have no idea, but I remember both trailers happening in my childhood on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that happening, but I kind of thought they were the same movie for like years. And it's one of those moments where I was like, oh, they're not the same movie.
Wow.
Because they're both like found footage-esque kind of like.
Do both star Dane DeHaan?
I don't think so.
Okay.
A lot of weird shit happens in that one though. Because, you know, the time-space continuum or whatever the fuck, you know?
I've been there, brother.
Who cares? Pocket dimension, you know?
Oh, man. I'll never be the same.
I don't remember the song very much at all.
So it has like a very slow intro, but like halfway through it shifts to like a more kind of upbeat, almost car seat headrest sounding instrumental, like kind of like Beach Life and Death, with like the really fast Strokes-esque like musicianship, which is really cool. The drums go fucking hard. I wrote him down. His name is Loïc I can't read my handwriting. His name is Loïc Maurin. I'll put it in the description. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, the drums fucking bang on this album, and other than that, it was the end credits theme of Chronicle. That was the standout thing for me.
Hey, it's enough for me.
Exactly.
Everybody, go watch Chronicle.
Yeah, tell us what you think of the comments below.
We'll make that the poll for the week.
Where are you chroniclers at?
Anyway, the next track is called "When Will You Come Home?"
I ask that question every day. It's pretty good.
It's an instrumental.
Yeah, another ethereal thing. It's a nice transition song. This was kind of like where I took note, was like, oh, even though there's a lot of these interludes, they sound different enough to where they don't blend together, which is cool. And this is a nice little penultimate track of side one, which I enjoy. But other than that, I don't really got much to say.
Yeah, I mean, the interludes are very pretty, and I love the way they sort of like create sort of a weird like atmospheric vibe. But like, yeah.
I also really like how the structure of this whole album is that both sides kind of mirror each other, where it's kind of like in order and structure and song length. It's like 3 songs and an interlude, then 2 songs and an interlude. It's really cool on both sides. So something I noticed, you know. Oh boy, baby, it's getting to that time.
It really is.
All right, let's try to speed this up. Soon, my friend. I believe this is the closer to side one.
I do remember this one.
This one's pretty nice. A very nice closer to side one. The orchestra is really fucking great on this track specifically. I like the juxtaposition. Both songs are very warm. So the last song is very warm and orchestral, whereas this one's kind of like cold and ambient, but they complement each other very well as they segue into each other. It's very, very nice. Mm-hmm. I like your style, Mr. Mate 3.
Mate 3. Ahoy, Mate 3.
Mate 3.
Listen, man, he might be a pirate.
Who's to say?
You don't know.
He actually just released an album this year.
Really?
He did.
Interesting.
I didn't listen to it.
Neither did I. Evidently. Neither did I.
Fair enough.
But hey, based on what I've heard, I'm willing to.
Yeah.
So I gotta say though, Soon, My Friend, I actually do remember.
Okay.
I do like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great, I didn't even know it was the closer.
I believe it is for side one.
I've heard a lot of these songs out of order.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's,
fair.
But with this one in particular, this one's nice. However, the following track.
That is true.
In my opinion, is
even better.
Probably one of the best songs in this entire album.
All right.
It's a weird hill to die on because it's only like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's just a nice little intro to side 2. This is My Tears Are Becoming a Sea.
I fucking love this track more than anything. This is the track that actually got me somewhat into this album.
Okay.
And assisted me in my math homework. So, I mean, it started it all.
If there is anything to take away from this, Mr. Mate 3, you got math through math class.
You gave me a C-.
Hell yeah, man.
So thank you. My tears are becoming a C-, in fact, so thank you. But in fact, I don't know why, but this is the second song where he starts kind of talking about just this outreach to someone out there.
Mm-hmm.
And something about it just feels so cathartic. And I just love the weird the ba 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 like that shit.
Yeah. It's orchestral triumphant feel. It's very cool.
It sounds like an orchestra made out of electronics.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It's so wild. Like,
It's
I don't
cool.
know. It's fun.
I actually don't really have much about this song. I just said it was a good opener, a way to start side 2. So if you got anything else to say, fucking go for it, man.
I mean, just, you know, stars and planets. They're calling him.
Well, what else can we say, guys?
Where are they calling him to? I have no fucking idea, but
Gotta ask him himself.
I want to go there too. You know, honestly, it's a great track. It's a great 2-minute track.
Well, maybe you can find it with this new map that we have, Matt. That's the name of the next track.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes.
This song's pretty cool. The synth hook on this song is fucking killer, and the drums are also awesome. I love the 16th note tom fills. I found another way to my heart. If you just played the tom drums, I love you.
I see. It's the pizzicato strings for me.
Yeah.
And it's the tom
fills.
The tom fills.
Yeah.
I don't really know. This is another one that didn't really stand out to me.
Okay.
Like too much.
I gave it another try. Actually, I really enjoyed it. He has some nice layered vocals on this. The synths right before the flute break, which is also fucking sick. They sound like Boards of Canada to me, which is really cool. They have this nice kind of like ethereal, almost like dissonant feel. It's very, very neat. The sax also comes back in this song, which fucking rips. I love that a lot.
A good saxophone is always needed.
Exactly,
you know?
man. As Scaring the Hose proved.
You never know when you just need one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Bleachers has made it so far with their saxophone guy.
Okay.
Like,
They have a dedicated sax man?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's especially on their newest album. It's just so many songs.
Okay.
It's highly recommend. Maybe I'll have to listen to that. But anyway.
Yeah. I got nothing really else to say about New Map. It's just a solid all around song.
Nude map? I just said nude map.
Okay, pal. Let's get our shit together and move on to this next track.
Indeed. Okay, pal.
Yeah.
Which is the name of the next track.
Yeah. I like this one too. This one's really cool. It's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of like Midnight City a little bit with the weird vocal hooks, but a little less obnoxious.
Yeah.
But it still has a really fucking nice sound to it, especially the synths are fucking incredible on this song. Got a great hook, almost like Roman Holiday a little bit, but just, in my opinion, way better.
The lyrics are very intimate. I do remember this one a little bit because I remember like the what do you think when I felt what he like I do remember that. Yeah, I mean like it's nice.
Okay.
It's a very nice song.
I think it's cool. There's a nice like spoken word section where they bring in a guest vocalist and she kills it. It's very nice. The synthwave aesthetic is like fucking prime on this song. It really captures that like 80s feel of like driving on a grid into the vaporwave sun, you know?
This whole album I feel like kind of like sort of like slightly dips into like the vaporwave sort of like feel.
A little bit, yeah.
Feels.
Synthwave I think is the
proper.
Yeah.
Yes, the proper categorization.
But yeah, it's fucking great, man. The overall album is very, very good. And it's time to move on to another interlude song. This is Another Wave From You. This is really cool. Another kind of Brian Eno-esque ambient interlude. Yeah, nothing really else to say. Oh, I did say that some of the synths, like the sound font on here, sound like the ending theme to Hereditary, the movie.
I've never seen that.
It's been used in like memes a lot. It's like the like that synth. I'll show you after the show.
Hereditary was made by the same guy who made Midsummer, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know their name offhand, but yeah. I do think that like with this track, what you mentioned, the Brian Eno-esque vocals, I think it reminds me of like Someone's Missing a little bit. A lot of this album kind of reminds me of that, to be honest with you.
I can hear that.
But like with the really just like sort of like really reverb vocals. So
yeah, that's actually a very good point.
I failed to recollect how dense.
There's a lot, man, but we're almost there.
We are almost there.
This next one is Splendor. In my opinion, this is not really the strongest song. This is kind of a filler song, which is a shame. It's like 5 minutes, and there's nothing really of note here. It gives me, unfortunately, Phil Spector vibes in terms of the sound, the wall of sound. But that's nothing against Mr. Mate 3. That's everything to do with Philip. He can stay
where he is.
Yeah. But this is just kind of whatever, you know?
There aren't a lot of lyrics to this one either.
No. Moving on, we have Year One, One UFO. This is a very kooky, chaotic kind of song. Kind of similar to Tell Me a Story. It's very like bombastic and chaotic, kind of leaning into that childhood nostalgia, but it's all instrumental.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's an instrumental, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. There's a lot of goofy stuff from the bass and the guitar. It's very bouncy, which is cool. It gives like a vibe of just like you're chasing an alien, you know?
I see. You know, as everybody tends to do.
We've all been there. Guys, we've all fucking been there.
Listen, you tried to raid Area 51, right?
Yeah.
And it happened.
That was a crazy moment in history, man.
I think I was in high school when that happened.
I think I just started college.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. That's wild. Because I think that was right before. That was like pre.
Yeah, was that 2018 or 2019? I think
it was one of those.
Yeah,
because I definitely remember being like, "Oh, okay, they're just doing it.
They're just hanging outside the gates."
It didn't work very well.
No, they just stood around. That was I
would have killed to have at least just like seen what was going on.
Yeah, some of it just looked kind of lame, honestly.
A nice little like free the aliens protest, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So this one's kind of fun. I like the random vocals that just appear in the background. He just like grunts. He's like, eh, as the instrumental goes on. It's really funny. It's very goofy.
This next one too is also an instrumental, I believe.
Yeah, this is another interlude track. It's a very nice, naturey effect. I like the breathy kind of atmosphere they have here. This gave me a vibe of Anemoia, which is kind of like nostalgia for something you've never experienced. It's very popular term with like liminal culture.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, like liminal spaces and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of those on my TikTok.
Yeah.
Like
I love that shit.
Oh, what? Just like you kind of enter this like weird kind of like, not spacey, but it's like a weird like
kind of like the Backrooms-esque, where like a room that I'm sorry, you heard me scratch my beard on the mic. I apologize. But it's kind of like a room that gives you just like a familiar but a very off-putting vibe. It's just a really cool horror aesthetic. I love it a lot.
I've seen it both used as a horror aesthetic and also a calming aesthetic.
That's true, yeah.
Like, and I've seen it in both ways.
Like an abandoned pool.
A lot of times it's used in the horror aesthetic, and then it freaks me out, but it's great.
But yeah, really nothing else to say about Fountains. It's just, again, another solid interlude. So the next one is Steve McQueen. This is one that I wasn't really huge on my first listen, but I grew an appreciation the more I listened to it. It's very cool. Some wild and synths we got in here, and we have some doot doots. A classic doot doot. You can never go wrong with that.
You can't go wrong, honestly.
There's a nice halftime drop that really fucking hits hard, and the vocals during the chorus are really fucking good. They're very ethereal and cathartic.
I don't remember the song either.
Cool.
Sorry, Steve. Listen, you think Steve has any relation to
Lightning?
By any chance?
Who's to say? I mean, one is a famous Western actor from, I believe, the 60s or 70s. The other is Owen Wilson. So they're both kind of the same.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Echoes of Mine is the next track.
I was going to say that there's a nice Venn diagram.
Oh, yes. There is a really nice Venn diagram between Owen Wilson and Steve McQueen. Both playing characters named McQueen.
Yes, indeed. That's the only relation. But the Echoes of Mine.
Mm-hmm. It's all in French. Actually, this song's kind of cool. I actually really enjoyed this one.
I appreciate when artists like who at least are somewhat bilingual or like, are able to like write in different languages.
Yeah.
I like when they do it and they do it well.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since like I feel like a lot of songs that are in other languages are just better. Like French music from the 60s.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Fucks.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
French music's just fucking great in general, man. Gotta love that French house.
You really do, for sure.
But this song is kind of all about like, have you heard of the album Everywhere at the End of Time?
No, I have not.
It's this 6-hour project by this dude called The Caretaker that's supposed to simulate someone who has dementia and like the different stages of it. Mm-hmm. It kind of gave me those vibes because the song's all about like someone in their last moments of life remembering all life has to offer. That's what all the French vocals are talking about. And the instrumentals are nowhere near as like dissonant, industrial, or creepy as Caretaker, but it still kind of have this like melancholy, bittersweet feel. But it's a song that really makes you appreciate life, I really enjoyed this one.
Nothing is resonating or echoing in my brain, AJ.
Well, I guess that we should move on to this next track then. Klaus, I Love You. This is a really good love letter to Klaus the fish from American Dad, I gotta say.
It was a weird inspiration, but the instrumental is peak.
It really, for such an odd concept, it really paid off.
And listen, in the next album with the Roger and Steve reference, I feel like it kind of pays off in the end.
Yeah, the American Dad, like a suite in MA3's discography.
Nice little American Dad core,
Yeah.
This is all bullshit. I hope you all understand this.
This is just fucking sick. This is just a nice, like, second to last transition song that has a really fucking nice, like, hit at the very end where everything just, like, comes in, like, triumphantly as it leads into the outro. It's very cool. Very synthwave as well. I just dig it. Very nice. And I guess that brings us to our last song, the outro.
I do remember this one.
Yeah, it's got that iconic line that's used in, like, all these movie, like, trailers. So, yeah, very good.
I agree.
It transitions fucking beautifully from Klaus I Love You Too, which is great. I also like there are some similarities to the intro, so the whole album is bookended. It's not like super similar, but there's like callbacks, which is cool. And yeah, it just feels very triumphant. The orchestra is fucking great. It has the now and forever line that everyone knows from fucking Bridge to Terabithia. I don't know. Whatever trailers it was used in.
I feel like we've referenced like 6 movies.
I know.
In the span of talking this album alone.
Guys, we're losing steam.
No, I do remember this one though. I feel like though this album can get a little bit like draggy in the middle, just like, you know, if you're not really into the whole synth pop like thing. I mean, I personally love it, but you know, but I do think that this is a nice closer for sure. And this, most of the album has like orchestral elements, but I feel like they kind of shine in the outro.
I agree. They're used very well here. Well, yeah, I guess that does it for Hurry Up, We're Dreaming. An overall very enjoyable experience that I was frankly blown away by.
Okay.
I really wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, just again, because mostly I didn't know what to expect. But the instrumentals are fucking great. They're very fun and such a love letter to the 80s, but it never feels derivative or pandering, which is very impressive. The immaculate production is fantastic. It modernizes the tracks, but keeps the ethereal dreamlike feel. And the vocals, while not my favorite, they did grow on me a lot. He's not a favorite vocalist of mine, but they do fit very well for this album. The interludes manage to sound unique and interesting regardless of the abundance of them. And it's just an overall incredibly enjoyable experience that I wish to continue having as I explore this artist further. So I'm going to give this about an 8.6 out of 10, and I'll put this in A- tier.
Fair enough.
I enjoyed.
I think honestly, like, even though vocally he may not be as like fantastic as other artists, he definitely has like range.
Yeah.
In like the areas that work. So like I just love when he just starts like screeching in My Tears Becoming a Sea. Just with the reverb echo, it's so good.
So triumphant.
But he does have a lot of production skills at the same time and a lot of interesting visualizations and concepts.
The way everything is mixed in this album is fucking incredible. Everything just blends together so seamlessly. I love it.
I'm going to have to revisit it for sure.
All right. What are your final thoughts, Matt?
I mean, honestly, like I kind of mentioned before, a lot of this album, except for like 5 tracks, I think that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
A lot of this album was sort of an in the background album for me.
Okay.
But I at least remember it sounding very pleasant. I wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like from the ones that I do remember, they still kind of hold up. I did re-listen to them at least.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to have to go and like listen to like the order and see if I can sort of like be taken on the journey a little bit more, because I feel like maybe this album should be appreciated a bit more. So
it's definitely worth a re-listen.
I definitely will do that.
All right, I guess that'll do it for this week's episode of the Family Album. Some nice banger albums that we had here.
For sure, I loved my album that you gave me. So
Scaring the Hose is phenomenal. I hope to see it grow and prosper as the year goes on.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts, Matt?
Honestly, at the very end of the day,
JPEG away.
I don't know why I was gonna make a Porky Pig reference. But then I was like, I don't know.
You know, JPEG Mafia, MA3, Porky Pig.
J Pork Mafia, if you will.
Pork Mafia, the Holy Trinity. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
We'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening.
Peace.